Alright, this is a Bitcoin analysis video. What's today? December 15th. So pretty much we're in an area where we're trying to figure out whether this is going to be turning, the market's going to be turning around. It looks kind of nasty if you look at it from this standpoint right here, where we broke down on this trend. But currently I have a system that gives me an idea of where support and potential pivots are in the market. So currently you'll see these little blue arrows indicating the bullish switch. Now, funny enough, the situation we're in right now is very similar, kind of what happened before, but at a smaller, like a smaller view of it. So pretty much, for example, what I'm talking about is this break here. When we broke this trend, tested support on this new trend and went up. So essentially it's a similar scenario. Now, ignoring that previous bottom right here, drawing another trend, you can kind of see that we're still in this trend here, and chances are it probably relates removing this top and going with this top. Actually, no, it doesn't correlate at all. I mean, technically it kind of does. So you can see there's another trend there, but how I'm visualizing this is like this. So we're still here on this break. So what we should be looking at is a similar setup here. Something along the lines of so. I apologize for that. So something along the lines of this here. So what happened here was we rejected and we broke down, right? We waited, then I have the bullish buy signal here, and we tested support off the bullish buy signal here, and then that's the bounce. We broke this trend, found support on the trend, and took off. Now, what I'm expecting to happen is a very similar scenario, same kind of setup, just a little smaller. So we broke bullish here. We're testing, actually a little bigger from the looks of it. We're testing here, and then what we're looking for is the break of this bearish trend. So in all honesty, as short as this one was and the pump that came afterwards, if we continue to maintain support above this level of 48, 135, this is on the daily chart, of course. If we maintain this 48, 135 support, which looks like it's there to an extent. We're still showing higher lows, and it looks like in the daily time frame we closed right above it yesterday, and we are on the move up here. So my expectations are pretty much what I've drawn here is we're going to find support at the white bullish line, just like before. With this bounce here, technically that's what's happening. A little cleaner here, but again, as long as we maintain above the line, and we're technically good. And then what I'm looking for is a break of this purple trend here, which could be moved around. Technically, could look something like this as well. It's a little bit closer than further out, but time-wise, I expect something before the end of the month here. So if we're looking for a potential break, then this would be the signal here, and possibly a pullback and another test, or maybe a short one and a bounce like that. Or the worst possible fucking situation that could ever come to exist is we just reject off this trend and we set a lower macro low. I mean, at this point, if I see that happen, I think all hell's gonna break loose here. If anything closes anywhere in this zone here, I think all hell's gonna break loose. If that does occur, what I see is this scenario occurring where Bitcoin had a trend it liked to follow for a long time. I have that on this chart here. So apologies for the million lines on the chart, but again, it's just analysis. It's trying to find the points. But these two trend lines right here, these two green lines, seem to be a very interesting point over the life of Bitcoin. It loves to play in this zone and find its way up and out. Now, what's recently happened is that after this breakout, we never really confirmed this trend again. And as time goes on, I mean, I was showing you the chart as far back as 2015, right? And 2017, 2016 here, 2016 here, 15 here. So it seems to have some sort of correlation long term to what's happening here with Bitcoin. And my expectation is if we don't break out the way I expect here, and keep the bullish macro formation, then the worst case scenario price wise could be that we find ourselves here and fighting here until we find support at this trend, and possibly we could come into the trend and then break out, which technically would be a lower macro low, but it's just ideas. Again, I don't expect that to happen, but it's definitely a real possibility. But again, yeah, the bullish scenario still stands the best so far for me. I have a pretty good picture just based on what occurred here, that we're looking for the same confirmation here. We never came back and tested this level, and that's what we're doing now. And if the level holds, technically I think we should break out, and then targets after this breakout are essentially the same trend we were at here since we started this. Technically we could do something like this here, find a top somewhere here, or the other red trend here, find a top somewhere here. But technically, looking at both of these, this is 107,000 and this is 120,000. Now time frames is a different conversation. How long this would take and when it would occur, no fucking clue, no idea. Expectations are after this breakout we should be setting another macro high, and then I guess that would be the point to know, like, hey, the macro high is going to be 127,000 and that's the peak. I don't know. But again, I would watch for this trend right here. You want to look for the break of this trend. The break of this trend, I think, is a pretty good bullish scenario. It goes as far back as November 9th from that peak and through right now, so it's roughly a little over a month now on this trend. This trend here lasted from April through August, so about 2 to 3 months, in all hopes that we don't follow this same path. We can come as low as 40,000 without closing below it, or damn close to it, and we still are in a bullish macro trend. So again, this can occur. It's outside of my analysis, but we can do something like this and then break out, and it still maintains the bullish integrity of the chart. So again, those are my thoughts.